So, welcome to Ignite Goat Mentality. I am Dr. Karen Walker, your Marine Corps veteran.
And I am Charmin Jacobs, your Navy veteran.
All right. And welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking to you about practicing positive self talk. We touched a little bit on this last time, but we're really going to dive in a little bit deeper this time because practicing positive self-talk, it can really build self-confidence and reduce stress. And this is kind of the world and space you're really breaking out into, Charmin, as an Ignite coach. And so, what are some things that you like about yourself? I mean, it's hard for us to brag about ourselves when we don't normally do that. Other people, our friends, they kind of lift us up. But when we're talking about positive self-talk, we have to kind of look within and start bragging about ourselves. So what are some things that you like about you?
Yeah, I like how you said it. And a friend of mine says, "How do you sweet talk yourself?" Right?
Ooh. Mhm.
Like, when you get a compliment, like what it does for you. And so you have this, this subject that we're talking about is like how you personally self have positive self-talk. So for me to answer your question, I am very resourceful to at fault. I Anytime I'm learning something new, I want to just share it with anyone that is in the space that I'm in, right? Like the
Yeah,
kids are like, "Oh, mom, we heard that before," and they can like repeat some of the stuff that I say. So by fault, I am very resourceful. I'm that friend that picks up the phone and calls you in the middle of the day just to check on you to see how you're doing. So I'm caring. I'm a good motivator, right? I help
yeah,
ignite the greatness that is inside of you. So and that is kind of like that's my why. That's
yeah,
my why, what I do. So um I'm loving. I by default, I'm like I love hard, right?
yeah.
I'm a giver as
I like
well.
all of these. And so, like I said, I mean, it's hard to narrow down things when we're thinking about ourselves. And so when we're talking about positive self-talk, it's an opportunity, like you said, to love on yourself a little bit and sweet talk yourself. I like that. For me, I think I go back to this thing that was told to me kind of in college because I was really struggling at that time with like some body image issues, and I think a lot of women probably go through this. I don't want to say just women. I think men do as well. And I hated my legs at that time. I just wanted like these long kind of, like runner's legs. And I was just like, man, I really wish I had these legs that were like these long kind of like Olympic runner legs. And so somebody just told me, well, your legs are basketball legs. I mean, like your calves. I wish I had calves like your calves. So, now, that kind of always, like, rings in my head, like, well, I have legs for basketball, and I love basketball, so I tell myself that, like, I love my calves because they're for basketball, and I'm not an Olympic runner, so, God gave me these basketball legs, I should love them. So, I love my calves, as funny as that may sound, and, I've come to love those things about me that, as you grow into them, you're like, God gave me these things for a reason. So I used to want that like deep, raspy voice that other people have because my voice was like soft but I've come to love my voice because it's very unique and people kind of recognize me for my voice now. So I do love my voice. And another thing that I actually love is my hands. I've grown to like kind of love my hands. Not to say I could be like a hand model or anything, but I love my hands. So
Hey,
those
there's
are
a
just
fetish
some
for everybody
things.
out here.
Say again.
I said there's a fetish for there's different things that people have fetishes
Oh,
on.
Oh no, I'm
But
not trying to get hand fetish people to talk to me. But those are just some things. But also I think like touching on you said resourcefulness. I think I do feel like I'm a good friend. I really do like to check in on my friends from time to time because I feel like I like when my friends check in on me, right? So I always try to check in on my friends, just like, hey, how are you? I was thinking about you today because I think that's important. I like to do that kind of buddy check for friends. So the second thing here, when we're talking about positive self-talk today, is what are some things that you are grateful for?
well, I am grateful for the air that is flowing through my lungs because, you know, tomorrow's not promised.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Yeah,
am thankful to have been able to serve 22 years, 5 months, 7 days because it has given me such great foundational characteristics, morals, and values that, like, it just compounded the foundation that my parents instilled, some of the things that my parents instilled in me. I am grateful for my wife. I mean, there's so many things that the list can, I am just so grateful for being able to have the opportunity to share these moments with you. I mean, let's
yeah,
see. I'm
me
grateful
too.
that I was able to meet Katrina, who's going to be my nail technician here since I've moved to Florida. And she's just like, her energy was great. I'm
Nice.
grateful for the ladies that helped me today at the DMV and made it such a great experience because sometimes you can walk into an establishment and if the person that
Yeah,
is greeting you is in a funk, then it
right.
just sets off the whole experience.
Mm,
So, I'm grateful that I was able to have lunch with my wife today at a new restaurant that's going to be one of our spots. Like I have it like the little things I'm grateful
sure.
for.
Yeah, I really like how you said that you're grateful for the person you met at the DMV because sometimes those little things, like you could be having a really bad day, but it could be someone, you come across like in the grocery store who just has like a really great smile and kind of like snaps you out of that moment you're having. So I love how you said that. I mean, being grateful for those little moments. I mean, I'm really grateful for like having 10 fingers, 10 toes. I mean, two legs, two arms. I mean, I say that because, my mom has multiple sclerosis. I've shared that before. So she's only has the use really of one arm, and she's, you know, every day like paints and has that desire to learn and try to paint. And so I just feel like I'm so grateful, like I'm still able to do, a lot of things with my arms and my limbs, and so I'm grateful for those types of things, but also just grateful for those little things, right? I mean, the sun shining, being able to hear the birds, just so in positive self-talk, it's also being grateful instead of like letting yourself kind of sink into those funks and those that funky mood sometimes. Um, so the third thing here along this line is what are you most looking forward to in the future?
I am looking forward to learning more about me
I like that.
and learning how mental strength on having those positive self-talks,
Mm,
on being staying in and controlling my emotions to stay positive
wow.
because and those that are listening, watching, I challenge you for 30 days to have to think positive. And if there's one negative thought or that comes into your mind, start all over again. That you start that 30 days over again and just see how it just resonates through your life. I was
Mm,
walking at Walmart. The lady was like, "Are you done with this cart?" I said, "Yes, ma'am. Go ahead." oh, thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Right.
It,
Yeah, it's almost like let the whole year be a holiday for you because people have that kind of holiday mentality where they're like super extra nice. But I really like how you took that on this kind of emotional journey and being kind of emotionally intelligent about your life and being positive. And, as veterans, just also I think us being diligent in our journey after the military, right? And sometimes being future minded can be so goal oriented and like taking a moment to kind of, like you said, take those 30 days and really focus internally, right?
mhm.
And where do I want to be with myself?
Right.
And I think that is also equally important. So I love how you brought that up. For me, I think where am I seeing myself in the future? Um, I love that. I'm really trying to do some mindfulness exercises. So I'm glad you brought that up. And also to do a lot of self-care. Because, I have children. They are just so you know how that is. So doing self-care, taking care of yourself, moms, you need to do that. So that's really important. And then also travel. I think that's like long-term goals too. So travel is important. So as we're wrapping up, the fourth one here is how, big picture, how can practicing positive self-talk help with igniting goat mentality? Like how does this help?
So, having when you start off in the positive, it releases a chemical in your brain that makes you happy. And and then that permeates throughout whatever it is that you're doing, whether that is if you're going to work for an organization or if you're starting your entrepreneurship journey. Like my son cut his hair, he was in a funk. And
Mm,
I had to coach him through what are some of the positive things that you can glean off of the fact that you didn't like the way your hair was. And so you decided to cut it all off. Like, hey, it can grow back. It's not like you're bald. It's not like your hair doesn't grow. It gets a fresh start. You can do 360 waves. You're still handsome.
right,
Without the hair, it's a different look. Now you can wear hats that you haven't been able to wear because you had all this volume on your head. Like just turn your whatever it is that is not giving you these positive emotions and heard it. The polar opposite, and
right.
then the polar opposite.
Sure.
So that is how I think having when you're having that positive self-talk, that the positive self-talk actually keeps your flame going
I love that. Yeah, I love
bright,
that.
really, really bright.
And I think, as we're talking about it, in terms of goat mentality, every goat out there, we're talking about the greatest of all time. I mean, practice is how they get there. And when we're talking about positive self-talk, it takes practice. I mean, you're not going to wake up tomorrow and just be an expert at this. You're not going to be a pro at it, right? I mean, you've gone however many years of your life, right? I mean, we're both 21, so we've been, around. So, but you're not going to go all these years of your life, like not being very good at self-talk, and then tomorrow you wake up a pro. So that's what we're talking about. Practicing this is going to help you ignite that goat mentality in yourself because if you believe it, you're going to achieve it. That's kind of what we've been talking
Amen.
about. And, by saying I am, instead of I wish to be, you are going to ignite this goat mentality in you. And
Most
that's
definitely.
really, what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
So again, with our veterans out there, we're really, talking about these next steps. However long, you were in the military, might have prepared you for these next steps and continuing to practice is going to get you there with that goat mentality. So we appreciate you coming to join us. We do this every 2 weeks, so we're being deliberate about that, giving you this nourishment. And it's just a quick 15 minutes, so we want to continue to give you that. You can find us and follow us again at our social medias at Dr. Karen Walker Official. And also, you can find your Ignite coach, Charmin Jacobs, at Success After Discharge. Thank you, and please come again.
All right.
And if
You
you
don't
don't use it,
use it
you'll
and you,
lose it.
yeah.
Thank you.